Hello, this is Alessandrina with Dexter and Alessandrina. And today I'm going to talk about reclaiming your power or reclaiming your creativity. So, oftentimes we'll be in a non-creative state, in a state of creation that is very limited. And sometimes we're aware of it, sometimes we're not. And ways in which we can become aware that we're not in a very creative state is either we're feeling a little bit depressed, we're feeling a little bit bored, we're feeling a little bit like we're into our habits, and we're essentially not moving much. We don't feel much energy. And when we're moving, we're kind of moving through the motions, just like in an automatic manner. And we don't feel the life force flowing through us. We don't feel excited. We don't feel enthusiastic about life. And sometimes this enthusiasm, this feeling of excitement, it can be grounded. It can be more peaceful. And that's a state of really balanced creative energy that is sustainable. Sometimes if we get in a very excited state, whether it's by taking food stimulants or other stimulants like coffee, and we do feel like we have energy to do things, that said, not necessarily in a conscious manner, not necessarily in a peaceful, loving, and wise and discerning manner. And so what I'm talking about today is really how we can access this creative energy that is in all of us and then become more spontaneously creative, meaning let your day organize itself rather than you having your planner completely planned with everything that you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and then you kind of go on autopilot with this conditioning programs, and then it can feel like life is not as full and as enjoyable as it could be. If you haven't done yet the meditation I Love My Life, I really highly recommend it. It's a meditation that can really help you get in touch with ways in which you're not loving your life and reconcile that so that you can actually appreciate your life more fully and feel more grateful. So right now we're talking about creative energy, this creative energy that is in all of us. And in order to access this energy, because it's always there, it's a matter of essentially freeing up this energy that is always creative, that is being tied up, replaying programs and old memories and past pain and trauma and all of the things that we fear will happen again in our lives. So we record and we store in our system and in our bodies those difficult, painful situations, and they take up a lot of bandwidth. So then we have a lot of thoughts throughout the day that are connected to that, whether connected to the experience itself or a projection of the experience onto the present moment, which is still a state of limitation because you're not experiencing yourself consciously in the present moment. So it's tied up in thought, it's tied up in emotions. Once you start projecting something from the past, from your mind, and you project it in your mind's eye, it becomes a movie. And your body doesn't know the difference. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between you playing out a movie or things, quote unquote, really happening. Because again, because there's an interpretation to everything that we experience, there's not actually an objective experience. Which is interesting because when people ask me about past life regression and their experiences, they're often confused. They say, well, I think it was just imagination and fantasy. And they don't realize that there's no objective reality, and therefore everything you could say is imagination and fantasy. So when we liberate the energy of the past, when we stop thinking about all the quote-unquote bad things or wrong things that happen in our lives, and therefore we stop reenacting those things and reliving them and re-experiencing them through our subconscious mind, then that energy becomes available for something else. So instead of going into projection, imagination, reaction to the projection and imaginings, and then the whole chemistry of the body and the brain are changed, and now we're living in a different reality where we're in survival, and now the energy is for survival. So it goes to the limbs, the arms and the legs, and away from all of the other centers in our body that could give us a different experience. Meaning that instead of being in survival and fight or flight, we could be in a state where we're very quiet and very aware and conscious and observing. And as a result of that, we're able to connect to nature and to things in such a way that we become very creative, because we feel the energy around us, we feel connected to the energy around us, and from that stems the creativity. So the more you purge the subconscious mind, the more you clear the old things that you've recorded and stored and that you keep re-referencing, the more empty you become and the more present you become. And the more present you are, the more you're connected to that energy, creative energy. Sometimes it's called Shakti energy. And when you're connected to that creative energy that is always there, then you can begin to essentially tap into it, use your own power, your own essentially inner power, your own free will power. And when you use that to tap into that energy and to feel it and to let it flow through you, you're not animated with this energy, your own Kundalini energy, the cosmic energies, and the energy is now flowing through you, this creative energy, and now you can apply it to anything that you want. So if you've heard my talk on the blank canvas and really operating from a blank canvas, that is the creative state. That is a state where you are not re-referencing the past. You are truly present to your environment and what is going on around you. And as a result of that, you are in that creative flow, in that flowing energy. And therefore, you start flowing with it and you start creating, not from old programs. You start actually even doing tasks that would normally be done in a very automatic manner. Even washing the dishes or going, let's say to do your shopping or anything else that in the past may have been more automatic for you, more like a program. When you are in that creative flow, that energy, then you are more present to those tasks and therefore enjoying it more and liberating more creative energy by being more present. And it feeds, it's a virtuous cycle. So instead of draining you of your energy and not giving you the energy to create something new, now the energy gets liberated and now you can create. I hope this is helpful. Sending you lots of love.